Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to a new patch, the 9.14. We'll talk about that in a second, but there's something on my mind a little bit more. So you may have seen the video that I previously made about saying that Com2us should not hide the information about certain stats, which is the video over here, which I talk about a whole bunch of skills such as the Chow skill 3 passive. It doesn't actually say how much multiplier it has. Also, for the skill 1 and skill 2, we would have to go to a third-party website to check that information. Well, today I was contacted by Seiishizo saying, it's like, yeah, say, by the way, that video that you made 2 days ago about asking Com2us to pretty much give the information about the 10% that they're hiding, they're deciding to hide 100% right now. The fuck are these guys doing, man? You cannot be this dumb, right? Right? There's absolutely no way you're this dumb. Like, if you're planning to make it all visible in game and therefore you remove it from visibility from the data miners, fine, by all means. But first do step A and then do step B. Don't do step B and then think like, oh shit, we've messed things up. Yeah. Talking about messing things up, by the way, they added one new feature in the patch. They already removed it because it wasn't tested properly. Com2us, what the fuck are you doing? Holy shit, your job is not that hard, man. And if you think it is, maybe you should find a different one because clearly you're not doing your job properly, man. Holy shit. And sure, might you ask, like, maybe they're hiding more data because we had a leak on the collab and kind of stuff. Also did make my video over there on that. Well, to be honest, then you also gotta fire your marketing team because you have absolutely no clue how to do proper marketing, because this video and this leak was the biggest hype of something from the last freaking since the Tomorrow update. Dude, this was hype. This was promotion for your thing. Like, sure, maybe it gave you some issues with the IP. Can understand that. If that gives you issues, is understandable. Sure, fine. But if you cannot see that this actually brings way more hype to the game, way more people enthusiastic about the game rather than thinking like, oh yeah, now I saw a leak that was not exactly like it was in game. No one gives a shit. That is what a leak is for. It is not that difficult. God damn it, man. Holy shit. It's not that difficult to see what brings people hype. Like, you can just see clearly by the numbers of the videos of people making a video on this and more people looking at it. It is not that difficult. Same thing, I was asking for giving likes to the topic of showing more information about the skills, the multipliers, and that kind of stuff. Well, you can see the number over here. This is what I generally get on like likes and that kind of stuff. This is what I got on that video. Maybe it gives a bit of a representation that you do not know and you're disconnected from your audience of what they actually would like to see, and instead of like, oh yeah, you want to see the 10% that we never mentioned and we don't want to show that in game, but sure, you can find it on the third-party website. Well, how about we hide everything right now? Oh my god, man, I've been working with this company for that long, and I feel like sometimes they do really good stuff. I praise them where they deserve praise. But also sometimes they're just so disconnected from the community. They have absolutely no clue what's going on. And they just do things completely at random. And then it's like, yo, what the hell are you guys even doing? Also, Com2us, just for the record, if you're thinking leaks are bad, I've mentioned this before. You legitimately have for other gacha games, for example, Wuthering Waves, you legitimately have a Wuthering Waves leaks Reddit page where people are just hyping up whatever is coming. And then, of course, there's always like, oh, it's just a leak. Like, it's not exactly like how it's going to be in the game. But people can already kind of bring a little bit of hype. Plus, Com2us, if you're really smart, you can leak something on purpose, and then you can check over here, do people like it or not, to get feedback right away without having to pay anyone. So smart. Oh, holy shit, man. Either that's not gonna make that part of this video any longer than that, let me know in the comments. I'll keep you updated in either comments or future video if they actually do decide to fix this thing. I'll also leave a link to the post of Seiishizo. Maybe if something does happen, he will be updated in there. But yeah, that's one of those things like, yeah, makes a lot of sense. So let's actually look what's in this post. So now we have a button between going to scout battle and non-scout battle. Sure, we have this thing which actually I kind of did ask for myself, but not for re-ups. I, in all honesty, would never put re-ups on repeat for runes. These things are way too expensive to have that messed up by you selecting the wrong thing or anything like that. I would not use this on re-ups. This is just a button of like, please waste my resources that I paid a lot of money for. Do not use this on re-ups. I have no clue who decided to come up with that. Do not use this on runes and re-ups. No. However, for the repeat conversion for artifacts, it is pretty useful because I do have this example over here. For example, I do have my Sonia left side over here. I would like to make this a 8 or a 9. That's the only thing I care about for this, getting specific an 8 or a 9. If I want to do this by hand, I would probably have to re-roll this, like, I don't know, an ungodly amount of time. And the people that are very high-end with, well, I currently don't have that many stones, but used to have to like 50, 60k. Then it is pretty chill that you can do that with an automated process where you don't have to repeatedly put that thing in all the time. And that actually makes it pretty chill for you just getting the right stat. And if you're changing your bomb recovery, or like your bomb to a recovery 5, you're an idiot in the first place. Horrible example, but sure thing. Once again, would not do that for runes. Do not do this for runes. That's just gonna waste your resources. So that's one part of the update. And by the way, they already removed that part because apparently they cannot test their features. Like, they have one feature added to the game and they're like, wait, but actually it's not working. Chop it. God damn it, man. What else is in this update? So we have your profile best, blah, blah, blah. Sure. Lord of the Rings team collab on the background. Sure. Kind of odd that this doesn't happen right away with the collab release, but a bit later, but sure. We have this transmog that we always have one of the collab units getting a transmog. Sure. A new house. Cool. Bunch of new icons. Sure. A new challenge season. Yep. And a bunch of packs. Also, these, like the Temple of Chaos skills, to be honest, I always get around like top 10-ish for Temple of Chaos. I don't even look at these skills. You know why? Because the moment the boss takes a turn, your run is over. Like, I don't care what skills you put to this shit. Like, I'm either gonna one-shot every wave or it'll die anyhow. Like, I don't care. And then we have a bunch of skill fixes over there. So that's about it. And then they also made a bunch of changes for the monsters that they have in the thing over here. So I'll look at the skill bolts over there. So in the end, TLDR of this whole patch, you encrypted shit when we asked you to show more information. So you're showing less information by a long shot when people asked for showing more information. Nice. You added one small feature, which personally I do like, but you right away messed that up. And then you added a bunch of new packs, of course. Packs. Always like collab packs. So that's pretty much the whole patch. Like, Com2us, like, what, 2 weeks for this? Did you just fire everyone? I don't know, man. I have no clue what you guys are doing sometimes, man. Holy. Well, transparency level of 0. Communication, 0. Well, let's see if at least this makes kind of sense. So they added 44 units to the challenge battle. It would be nice if they do mention which ones were already in there and which ones weren't. But let's just kind of find out which one were and weren't in there by checking it ourselves. Because, well, yeah, whatever. So, first of all, we had the Chow in there. Chow's the same. We have the Water Monkey in there right now with full additional damage artifacts. That is a nasty set for... Yeah, okay, this is a really good Shiho set because of the crazy additional damage artifacts. Not the most amount of speed, but still good HP, good attack, decent accuracy. That is a nasty and a half set. This monkey is going to be very OP. I think the Chandra and the Wusa were already in there. I think so, right? Yeah, we have... No, wait, the Chandra is something they had before, but they took it, or they put it back. Yep, that's fine. Hey Gang is put back in the thing again. Makes sense because Hey Gang was kind of a necessity in there, to be honest. But sure, they removed it, I guess. Shizuka, I think, was in there before, but it's going to be put back as well. Twin Angels is going to be put back. Artifacts, not that much sense making. I wouldn't really like minus wind on it. I would rather see either like a max resistance on it, but sure. Draken Warrior Water is going to be in there. That's going to be really interesting, except that the build is absolute zoggy. Like, this is a really fucking shit build. Because we have some additional damage over here. We have some minus stats. You don't want to go minus stats on this dude. But this dude, you want max crit rate on. They put a 15 crit rate build on this. This thing is going to deal absolutely no damage. He's going to be annoying for turn cycling and the silence and the pushbacks and blah, blah, blah. But he's not going to be on a proper build. It's actually a pretty horrible build. Then we have the Spectre Princess, which is a Lamila that they actually put on a 100 resistance build. Okay, this Lamila 33k HP and still close to 170. Okay, this is a really nasty build. You're not gonna get this much stats. Plus 100 resistance, plus 85 accuracy. Artifacts, I would have rather seen full damage, but that's a nasty one right there. Water Gandalf, they put it on Swift rather than Vio. I guess they even understand that the Vio build is too annoying. But a 2-2-2 set on that, plus 222 on 100 res, 33k HP. This thing is gonna be so annoying, and it's gonna make all of your challenge battles take like 16 million years. Thanks a lot for that, Com2us. We really like 16 million years sitting in the challenge battle. We have Velaju coming back, Kumar coming back. We have Chiwu coming back, Swift set, crit damage on the 4. I guess so, with some, yeah, sure, whatever. Thessarian being in there, Carnal being in there. That's the same Carnal build we had before. Megumi being added to the field, with some weird-ass additionals that you don't even put additional... Wait, there's no accuracy S3, but there's accuracy S2. Sure, for the Sun is nice, but for the Strip, you're not max accuracy on this unit. Okay, sure. And then minus 22 on water, sure, I guess. We have the Fire Paul in there with 222 set with 34k HP. That's a nasty set as well. Yeah, this thing is gonna be a nasty set. We have the Wind Monkey in there. Most common Wind Monkeys are on crit damage on the 4. It is not. It is also way overstacking of accuracy. You normally don't need that much accuracy, but this monkey is also gonna drag matches out until the end of time, or a little bit after that even. Then we have a Triton being added to the field. A lot of speed contesting units right now. Kind of makes sense for a Triton, is on wheels, fine. Unicorn in there, Unicorn build. Actually does make sense for additional damage by attack. I kind of expected them to mess it up by additional damage by HP, but it actually does make sense for additional damage by attack. Is actually a pretty solid build. It's kind of low on the attack itself, but it has decent HP, it has crit rate, crit damage, so not a bad set altogether. Riley being in there, we have Angela coming back. Nice, more units that make it 16 years to fight this thing off. We have the Desert Warrior in there, sure thing. We have Twin Angels on Wind. Wind Dragon Warrior is also added in there right now, which is on a mediocre set as well. You kind of want to fix the accuracy in the build itself and then just do additional damage artifacts. So this thing is also not going to do that much value as well, outside of just getting a random Despair Stern in there. We have the Quillen Slasher coming back that has a pretty solid build, except that the own turn doesn't work for your S2, and his crit damage first would have been a lot better, but they are allergic to crit damage first on any of those units for whatever reason. I guess they haven't figured that part out, that is in the game, but sure. Then we go into some Light and Darks. The Archangel, we have first a Artemil build. 144, 1.3k, kind of low-ish on the defense. Additional damage by defense. Holy shit. Why do you additional damage by defense? Just give crit damage first, man. There's no additional damage by defense on this unit. 100 res is nice, crit damage there. No crit rate, which works with the recently released balance patch on it. But if you're trying to S1 on your own turn, you're not going to crit, and it's going to be kind of ass. So I'm not sure if I'm even liking that buff right there. We have Pontus in there, 100 res, high accuracy, pretty tanky stats, also pretty fast. Pontus, man, they really like to drag out these matches over here. They add so many supports to that, sure. We have the Puppeteer coming back with a Swift set this time. Wait, wasn't Kovaci on a Vio set before, which didn't make sense, and now they're switching it to Swift? That makes a lot more sense. We have the Light Warren coming in there with good additional stats. Not super tanky, but is 100 crit rate with a okay-ish bit of crit damage. That's a pretty nasty set. Then this one over here, Light Legolas. Look at those artifacts. Yo, these are near perfect lines for artifacts. These are absolutely insane artifacts. I think the absolute max on this is just a little bit off from what these stats are giving. That is a really stacked out Light Legolas. They're really trying to sell the Legolas over here, because normally he's not gonna be that good. But with these kind of stats, he is gonna be that good. Like, he's actually going to be crazy good. You do always want to pair him up with other units that also have multiple hits on crits and stuff. But they're really trying to sell it at like Legolas to buy the few extra packs. Yeah. We have a Ragdoll in there, interestingly enough. Ragdoll, 100 crit rate, crit damage, 100 does have a good bit of attack. I would like my Rakdos a little bit faster these days. Not super tanky, but it's seemingly pretty decent. Also, once again, where is the first skill? Crit damage. That is the thing that works best on that unit, sure thing. Then we go for Dark Monkey, and this is the most horrendous, stupid Dark Monkey build I've seen in my life. Yeah, absolutely, this is such dumb shit. So, Dark Monkey. We have an okay bit of HP, it's not that much, but the attack is 322. You have crit rate and crit damage on there. You do know that you're mostly scaling. Well, apparently we're not allowed to know because they're removing that shit. But if we go to Swar Farm and we go to the Zhongxiang Lao, we can see the following information about the Zhongxiang Lao. He's attack scaling, and half HP scaling, but still more attack scaling. Makes a lot of sense. Maybe Com2us also figured that part out because they were hiding that from their own employees. I have no clue. But yeah, let's then ruin him up with absolutely no attack. 322 attack? That is pretty much the base you get from a slot 1. And then you're done. And then you gotta put crit rate, crit damage to that? He's not gonna do any damage. What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, sure, you could go for a monkey that's just super tanky, but you want to have a monkey, if you crit rate, crit damage to it, you want to have some attack in there. That's just the main thing. And even with those stats, like some of the times, some of these builds are pretty similar to the builds I have, but I got pretty much same HP, 700 more attack, like 300 more defense, and then still this, sure, he has like more crit damage on me, but crit damage is a multiplier of your input number. This is your input number. Like, you have no input number, man. Holy shit, man. These guys don't know anything, but sure. We have a Pater in there, 170. That is actually then, again, a really good build outside of the additional damage by HP, which is the dumbest shit that you can put on there over there. But crit damage, this thing is actually going to hit pretty hard. But also, he is Pater. Pater is also still half scaling on attack. He's not full HP scaling. That is something that we would know if we're able to see that in-game. Ugh, man, these people. Dokkaebi Lord in there. Dokkaebi Lord is another unit to stall out the match until the end of time. Sure thing. And then we have the Dark Aragon in there. I think that one is already in there. Does have 100 crit rate as well. He's not a crit rate unit at all. He doesn't have any scaling on... Wait, does he even... Yeah, he has scaling on the S3. But also, once again, Aragon... If we go for... I think that this is Dark. Dark one over here. We have... Oh, we have some HP scaling in here. I did not know that we have some HP scaling in there. But this is full attack and then this is full HP scaling. So... It is a little bit more half-half than I expected. And then we also add in a word, because why not? 100 res, 100 crit rate. Not super fast, but annoying build. No one's ever gonna pick this golem, because that's just the worst thing known to mankind. They really would like to add some unit that has like 20% win rate in there. They added one in there. I have no clue why. More units to stall until the end of time. Nice. And then a Kinky and then an Asher. So that's pretty much added to all of those things. Well, yeah, let me know mainly about this, what your thoughts are on these. I asked Com2us to show more information. Com2us' reply is, let's show less information, because the more you guys know, the more you know it's fucked up. Well, either out, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you later. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.